Once again, welcome to Defeated Tragedy to Triumph. We right here. We doing it each and every Sunday. Subscribe, y'all. Don't be doing no peekaboos. Subscribe. All right, get the message. I got Harlem's own in the building. Y'all see this man? Y'all see Harlem. I got Otis. All right, he's here to tell his story. It's not a tragedy, but he's here to send a message. You got a word for them today?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the platform, brother.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Appreciate
it.
Appreciate
On this rainy day, y'all tune in. Y'all ain't doing nothing. What up, brother?
I'm here. Thank you. I made it.
All right, man. Come on. I know you got a story. You ain't got a real tragedy because you was smart enough not to end up in a tragedy. And how did that go?
It was like jumping obstacles, being in Harlem. You know, came to Harlem when I was 13. Grew up in the Bronx originally, then came back. My mother came back to Harlem.
Okay.
Coming to Harlem, single parent, just me and my mother, 13 years old. Coming to Harlem was a total different shakeup from coming from the Bronx. You know, the Bronx was no buildings. It was abandoned. You back flipping on the bed for fun, and then it got you catching wingworms and all that stuff. But that's what we did in the Bronx. Coming to Harlem, it was a whole difference. Coming into a project, coming to the big families. I just was coming from actually a welfare hotel at the time. Me and my mother lived in a welfare hotel on 32nd Street and 6th Avenue called the Martinique, and that was hell. And coming in there every day, if you know the Martinique Hotel, and anybody can reminisce with that, you had Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Bronx, and Harlem. It was like living in Rikers Island in a hotel.
So what project you end up residing?
After we stayed there a year, we moved to Lincoln Projects, 132nd between Park and Madison.
Where's it at?
132nd between Park and Madison.
That's what they call Stinking Lincoln?
Stinking Lincoln, yes,
all right.
sir.
What is clap tap for Harlem? On the Lincoln. Come on. All right. Lincoln Projects, man. Y'all know what it is.
So the coming in Lincoln Projects, the transition was for me. That was a stick-up projects. Everybody was getting robbed. They was robbing cab drivers. They had a team called a Cigar Mob, which was just doing all type of robberies. And so when I come in there, I don't know about robberies. I'm coming in there at 13, 14, but my transition is to try to get some money. Mm-hmm. By 15, I'm already to unpack bags, and I'm ready with the delivery with the paper, all that. Right. Okay. 15, you get your first. I need to really get some money. My mother living off $108 cash, $140 in food stamps every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. That wasn't going to do it going to high school.
Right.
So,
gotcha.
You know, of course, you try to find a way to get your own, because when you're entering high school, you know, you got to be fresh every day, or you can't think right. You know, mm-hmm. it just ain't gonna work.
That's New York.
So that's when you start saying, hold up, I got to get me some money, and you get your first little go to the store. You know, like today is
shorty, man. I like you.
Right. You know, you go to the store, go get us some juices, go get some sodas, and you doing the errands, and you know, you letting them know who's around, who's this, and eventually you go to the next floor. And then you go, you know, now you inside.
I like shorty.
Yeah, you know, you graduate. Today's youth, they just, you know, they get a gram or two and think they got a little pop thing, and they think it's levels. Yeah, it's levels at where we came from. You came up slowly, and you was taught, and you knew everything that was around before you actually was thrown out there on the corner. Mm-hmm. And from that day on, me now 50, I escaped with no felonies.
Okay, so there's a time. Is there a time that you did hustle? I mean, you finally got into it.
Yes, I got into hustling, and you know, you start as a lookout on the corner.
Okay.
And back in Harlem, we had a thing called Timeout.
Okay, hold on, slow it down. Okay. All right, a lookout. We need to know what that is. All right, and what is Timeout for the audience? For the audience.
Okay, back then we're talking 86, 87.
Okay.
You stand on the corner. We had 3 people on the corner, and everybody had shifts. Whenever you saw blue and white, anything police presence, you call timeout.
Okay.
Timeout mean everybody walks off. If you're online, your hand was in the hole, it's over. Get away from the hole. Act like you're doing something else until we say, yo, it's open back up again. It's clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So that was timeout.
Okay. All right, good. Continue on, brother. Good. Let us know. What are we selling at this point?
At this time, we selling $3 bottles of what they call crack. And the epidemic of that from the 80s was something so serious, it was just everywhere. Everybody was selling crack. Unfortunately, people that were selling crack to people in their community, which it was somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's cousin. You know, these are the things that you're engaging with. And these people, at the same time, are bringing you money, But they the ones that actually just running all around the streets to go get the money. So when you actually look at somebody who's a crackhead, you really got to give them credit to say, how does this person don't have a job, nothing, but able to make the money every day to come back 10 to 15 times a day? So they struggle is so serious because they wake up with, I got to get high. And it's a determined high to where they know I got to have money and I got to do what I got to do. Now, my thing was watching women do what they had to do to get high. My first initiation of messing with somebody's older grown woman was somebody who entertained crack. That was one of my first deals in negotiation, dealing with somebody.
So it was with a woman.
It was with a woman.
Okay.
So and I don't think a lot of men will admit today and say they actually slept with somebody who got high, but that was your first real experience of a grown woman. So 17, 18 to actually make a deal with a woman, and she's saying, well, I want this, and you saying, well, I want that, and we talk the deal, and then we go up to Pebbles Beach, and we make the deal happen.
Right.
And,
what beach?
Pebbles Beach. We called it Pebbles Beach. That was when you go to the roof in any building, it had little pebbles on the floor, and they called that Pebbles Beach.
All right.
And
Y'all know what Pebbles Beach is?
That was everywhere. Everybody knows about Pebbles Beach. That was our thing. You lay your jacket down. They didn't have alarms back then, so you just can lay down comfortably and just, you pull your band down to your knees.
So that's the roof of the building.
The roof of the building.
Don't know.
Pebbles Beach. That was my first action when I used to go up there. It was always Pebble Beach. And the good thing about it, you didn't have to wait online or anything because it was always a roof that you could find and no one was up there.
Goddamn.
So that was
the roof is open.
The roof was always open back then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else you want to add on to that?
Hustling was something for me. I wound up hustling for a lady at the time. Her name was Big Deb, and she was one of the big ladies out of Harlem at the time. And for me, dealing with a woman that was she was a lesbian woman, but she was the
Deb name was ringing.
Deb name and working for a woman was kind of different because when I came, everybody worked for men. You had the Rich Porters, you had the Alpo, you had the Zips, you had the Cab Shop. Everybody had that little thing, but coming up under a woman at the time was totally different. And the experience, even I carry that on till this day because working for a woman, she wouldn't let us jump out the window. She wouldn't let us do certain things that you can do for men. She wouldn't. It was no way, no how. She kept order. She even actually told me how to turn a woman on. That was my best experience.
Okay.
Learning from her how to engage with a woman. Learning from a lesbian woman, at nighttime when we would go sit at the table after we finished, we go bottle up, and she would tell us how to make women feel. So that was one of the things that I grasped from her because she would always say, yo, you have to caress a woman, how to make a woman feel. She always had a bet with us. She said, I bet you $1,000 I'll take your woman. None of us ever took her on that bet. Right. None of us ever played that game with Deb. But she always said, I bet you $1,000 I could take your woman. None of us took that challenge on, but she did tell us how to turn a woman on. Back then, we thought that giving a woman fellatio was just, that wasn't it.
There's more to it.
It was more to it. It was more to it when you sit there. Because I was like, okay, I'm doing it. Now, when she told me, it skyrocketed.
Okay.
It skyrocketed.
I got you.
With no money. I didn't have to put my stock. Right. I didn't have to pay for it. My stock went up. I didn't have to pay for it because I wanted to get a little name.
The stock is women.
Yeah. It went up. I didn't have to pay for it. Where it was like your name back then, it buzzed like, yo, his end game was night. So I got a little reputation on my side where coming out of Lincoln Projects, it was, like I said, it was known for a stick-up project, but now we're getting money. And I got girls coming over here. We got OJs. So I'm bringing another thing to where, bringing a different element, which now, being a little dude, no bigger brother, no sister, my name is starting to ring throughout Harlem. And it was always for girls, which it caused confusion because niggas don't want to hear you knocking a joint. Well, they say it's their joint, but it ain't their joint.
Okay.
It don't be they girl. It's just so we have this woman in common or this young lady in common, and maybe she might like me a little bit more than you, or maybe you paying and I'm not paying. So then you start to feel a way towards me.
Gotcha.
And these women are not, they're not locked down. Like they like who's who. They like the dude who can fight. They like the ball player. They like the drug dealer. They like the ball leg.
Everybody's on the beeper.
Everybody's on right.
Everybody's on the beeper.
Depending on what that woman feel like, why she like you that day, she only knows that. You know what I'm saying? So every 6 months, these women are, okay, he's the new ball player. Or, he's just the new nigga that got he got the BM now, so he's the dude.
The men was getting caught up while the women was doing some man shit.
They was doing, Actually, the women, because I can't tell anybody, they say men do bitch ass shit. It's all right to do bitch ass shit because we're born from a woman. We were in a woman for 9 months, so we will catch sensitive and we'll catch feelings. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Bitch ass. They be like, oh man, bitch ass. It's all right. I think we can. We have them feelings to where we react. Okay. It might not react the way a person might say, well, I wouldn't have did it, but you might do something that I wouldn't do, and I might do something you wouldn't do. But then it'll be he did some bitch ass shit. I can't tell you how to feel when you might go up. You got dudes who hit women. That's bitch ass shit. Do we do it? No. I might do something else to a woman that might be considered bitch ass shit. Right. But to other men who don't, they might say, oh, that was some real bitch ass shit. Then about 6 months later, I hear that same nigga did some bitch ass shit. I'm like, well, his bitch ass shit I think was a little bit worse than my bitch ass shit. But
let me ask you this.
Yes.
Okay. At that time, what year are we talking about now with the hustling?
87.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: is there a time because at that year, a lot of people was going out of town. They're going out of town. Did it come a time where did you just hug the block of Harlem, or did you try to step out like everybody else and go out of town?
Well, for the 2 years I'm on Madison. The lady I'm working for, we doing back then, which was considered a key and a half a day.
Okay.
We had 2 shifts. We had the morning shift and we had the night shift. Like I said, I'm 16.
So this is a key and a half of cocaine.
Of cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're doing a day.
Got you.
We had a thing what we called a spot. We had a building which we would cement. We had the bars that went inside the cement and made the wall. So that wall was like, it was like Kingdom. It's nothing the police can do. They could be sitting there all day with the barricades trying to. You're not getting in. So meanwhile, you're sitting there. Whichever shift might have about 1,500 valves inside an abandoned building with 35. You got rats up and down. It's garbage, and it's normal. The thing about it is, it's actually normal. Like you're not even bothered to be sitting. You got the rat right here. You got your cracks here. You got your money. You the banker, and you watching all this, and then it's just garbage. And
so they can't. So when they come to purchase, can they see you?
No. They can. What they would do is try to bend down, but we would tell them because you got somebody in front.
Okay.
We had a person that's directing the traffic. I had a person that was on the corner on both corners.
The person that's behind the brick wall, unless that person bends down,
they
can now see.
Yeah. They can see who's serving. Right.
Other than that, they don't even get to see.
We had the wire runway, and we had a little electricity, and then we had a candle. So that was on the table, so they're bent down and they can see. So actually,
Break, are you familiar with that? From running the wires to the goddamn DJ set to the pole.
Yeah, just like that. We would take it from the pole, and then I would run the electricity, so that you're able to see what you're doing inside.
These entrepreneurs back then.
Yeah, you could actually see what was going on. You in there in an abandoned building by yourself, pitch black. Pitch black.
And how old are you?
16.
Mother don't know where.
My mother don't know. My mother thinking. The funny thing about it, because every time I bought a pair of sneakers, I'd be like, yo, my man bought it. So by the third pair of sneakers, my mother was like, so you a nigga bitch now? So
she gonna get it about you.
She said, you a nigga bitch now. Niggas just buying you sneakers like that. So I kept trying that, but she eventually caught on that.
Mom, I'm hustling.
Yeah.
I'm getting money.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I didn't have brothers and sisters, so it wasn't like I could be like, well, I bought Johnny's sneaker or, this nigga. I didn't have a sister that was it was just me.
So come on.
So every time I came in the house.
Hold on. The out of town thing. Hold on. Because I want to get this clear. All right. You never went out of town.
No.
All right. That's what I want to elaborate on because that
I could say I tried it one time to be more. It didn't work. My whole project at the time was going out to a place called DC. I always hear about the Southwest, Northwest. I hear a lot about these. But at that time, you got a bunch of kids that's 15, 12, youngest 12, 13, 14, 15, going to D.C. And you got 30 young dudes in the same room. I didn't think that was comfortable, knowing that we had no supervision. Okay. So anything goes in a hotel with 12 to 15 years old, and there's 20 y'all in the same room.
And there's guns.
There's guns, yeah.
Knives.
You go to sleep, you might wake up with powder on your face, egg in your mouth. You don't know what's going to happen when I would hear the stories of what was going on.
What was that? There was on Joke Time.
Right. Everything is Joke Time. Niggas, they give you suicide. I heard dudes to get a suicide package. You wind up trying to hustle that suicide package for 6 months. Because he's always getting robbed, so that bill just keep going on. So you can't go home because you got to knock the bill down.
So you're stuck out of town.
You stuck out of town. Working off a debt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
and what else?
So when I've heard those things, I was like, you know what? I don't think DC for me. That's why I stayed on my block where I can control I know the police. I know the stick-up kids. I know everybody around. So that was where I can control the environment.
That's what I want to get into. That took stability.
Yeah, that took
stability. All right, because you're now seeing the results of the ones that did make it back, and you seen the flourish. You seen the shine. I know you did. Yeah. And for you to still not get tempted by that, all right, because motherfuckers was coming back shining.
No.
From out of town.
Out of town that's back then. I don't know if you remember. That's when they had the jacket. Everybody was. It was a jacket that had like the music notes on the back, and it was like the NBA, and them jackets were like $1,700 back then. Okay. And it had like the rhinestones all over. So those was one of the things that was tempting because everybody went to DC, and when it was time to go to Skate Key, they had one of them jackets on, and you knew the jacket was a grip. You know that the Pele. You knew it was serious. When you put them jackets on and you was on your way to Skate Key, the night was yours.
Hold on. We're going to elaborate on that real quick. Did y'all hear him say what? What's the name of the spot?
Skate Key.
Allerton Avenue?
Allerton Avenue.
All right. I just wanted to get that back out there. Just don't say Skate Key like that.
No, Skate Key.
You got to say Skate
Allerton.
Key.
And that's when I was introduced really to the north part of the Bronx. So I grew up in the south part, Weeks Avenue, Walton. So I came from Prospect Avenue. So the South Bronx was really wild growing up in the South Bronx. I went to school on Webster 147. I went to CES 70 on Weeks. Now we getting money and we going up to Skate Key is a whole different environment.
Right.
Because now you're hearing about Boston Road and Co-op City and the Valley and Edenwald. And I'm like, what the fuck is all these places? Like I'm thinking I'm really known, but now I'm going in somewhere else and another and like, okay, now you got all these different avenues in one spot. Everybody got serious faces on. Everybody looked like they were ready to go at any time. And we coming up here with these nice leathers. At the time, we had an MPV with the Beebs. So, we was known as them three ballhead kids when me, Don, and a kid named Tone. So we was always fresh. So it was like...
MPV.
We had the MPV.
Mazda van.
Right.
Yeah. All right,
the Mazda van.
All right.
That was one of the things. That was definitely, your crew had to have an MPV inside. That was one of the cars that came out of each crew, an MPV. That was out of the 10 or 15, but that was that was the crew. We're gonna get 6-7 deep in here. We're gonna go. So going to Skate Key was a totally different environment because now I feel like I'm graduating. I did Rooftop. Now I'm going to Skate Key, even though Rooftop was first.
Right.
And we already know what it was, the challenge of trying to get in Rooftop, but that was like making it to Harvard. If you got a night into Rooftop, that was huge. That was a huge night.
All right, Rooftop, Harlem.
Yeah.
All right, infamous Rooftop. Yeah. We mentioned some names tonight.
Yes.
So all right.
If you made Rooftop, you definitely know where you was heading in, and you became, because me coming from the East Side wasn't going to Rooftop.
Okay, now when you talk about East Side of what?
East Side of Harlem.
Okay.
They was a little. See, in Harlem you got the East Side, you got the West Side. Total different worlds, because on the East Side you got Spanish and black. On the West Side, once you get to 8th Avenue, you got black, but then you have Broadway, which is Dominicans. Okay. So if you went to school over there, you grew up with the Dominicans. If you grew up on the East Side, 1st, 2nd Avenue, you grew up with the Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
So your connect 9 times out of 10 was maybe in your building.
So it was just easy. Okay, so it was easy access.
It was easy access, so you could so you could kind of figure out why. Okay, you see a black in this. Okay, he must be getting this, and that's who's supplying. So that's what based. So me coming on where I'm at, I'm caught in division because I hung on the East Side, but 8th Avenue, 7th Avenue was Showtime.
Okay,
it was Showtime.
All right.
You had to have your everything had to be up to par once you hit 8th Avenue.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, all right, that's what it is. Anything else you want to expound on? Talk about it. Welcome to the platform, man. This is the platform. If you got a business, that you're doing, if you got anything constructive, all right, that you're doing, anybody, come, bring it up here, talk about it. Anything you're doing positive in the community, we want to hear it. You owe it to the hood. You owe it to yourself. Come right here. Defeated Tragedy to Triumph. It's not an interview. All right, it's just for you to come, tell your story. All right, trials, tribulations, what you went through, and what positive in your life that you can shed on somebody to uplift them. That's what this is about, bro. That's what we're doing right here. So give us a word. All right.
What I will tell the youth today, we came from a time where you paid attention to the old timers. The old timers, they would sit us down and they would talk and they would let you know what's going on, how's your family, those things. They would communicate with you. We've lost that, Dudes that consider themselves an OG are not OGs because they're not going back to the community letting them know the ups, the downs, and everything. Nobody talks to the youth no more. Everybody runs away from that.
No, they let them go.
They just let them go. Around. Right. And this is, we have to take accountability because we're responsible for who they are today.
Correct.
Because they was watching us. So when they was 5 and 6 years old, when they call us uncle, they're sitting there emulating the style that they see us doing. They hear our names.
That's a fact.
They hear your name in your hood, like, OG, I heard about you. You were this. Everybody has an OG, and we all know what the OG, if he was the one who knocked people out, if he was the one who had the first Lincoln, if he had the Maserati. These things is what we emulate. And coming in Harlem, I looked up to the Rich Porters and Alpo. They was entertainment. There was just something about it. Anytime you saw, it was electric. If Alpo wheeling, if Rich Po just was standing there talking, getting out of bed, had the fur on his leather Louis Vuitton, it was something you'd be like, I want to be like them when I grow up. So that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to emulate just like them. I wanted to have all the girls, get all the money. When I walk in a party, I'm the talk of the party. That's what took me into being a promoter.
Now you're older.
Yeah.
Okay, matter of fact, now you're older. All right, okay, good. Let's talk about the promotion. There you go, good. I'm listening. You're a promoter.
Becoming a promoter was I got with an entertainment at the time called Final Four. It was myself, Reggie brought me in, Cornell, Billy, who now runs Cove, Billy, Malcolm, Kason, Ray Bosco. It was a few different.
Yeah. DJ Hands. All right, we're gonna need some hand claps because when we hear when you hear Final Four, all right, the parties was serious. You talk about electric.
Electric.
You talk about electric. All right. So Final Four party. If you don't know about a Final Four party, you can't possibly been on the universe.
You couldn't.
All right.
You couldn't.
Come on, man. They were huge.
The Final Four party was, we had 5 individuals that people used to be like, yo, who are these dudes with these parties? You had to get dressed. You couldn't come in jeans and sneakers. You had to go Shavanato. If it was AJ Lester,
Chavaki's, Shavanato
on Broadway. You had to go get your Gators. Okay. You had to go get your Versace. Your shirt alone was about $800 just for your shirt. Your Gators was $1,200 to $1,300. You knew tonight of all nights, I'm going to all that thug shit. It came out.
All right, so hold on. It was Apollo Express and Chavaki's.
And Apollo Express and Shavanato.
Okay,
Shavanato.
I remember.
92nd, yeah. So, we brought a lot of, because it was like, again, we're changing a time where the streets where you just do a sweatsuit. Now you have to go spray some cologne on your neck. You got to go get a shape up. Them waves got to spin. Them Gators. You from boys to men. You were grown. Because women are always gonna look at the chains and say, "Oh shit, look at him. He grown. He looked good in that the Gators."
I can honestly say I remember everybody. You running into everybody in these stores and they getting ready for
for my party.
I remember that.
And the buzz was, you had five dudes that's small. And at the time, people think we getting all this money, but really, we chipping in $200 just to put the down payment for the club. So people thinking back then, they think we owned the club or we bought the bar. No, back then you had to rent the place, and what we do, we take $200 a man, and that'll be the down payment. So now we got a month to promote and get everything. Now we selling the tickets, getting the flyers, selling the tickets. So I was more in the street. You had Reggie, Cornell, Billy, Kason. They was more business. I was the street. I was the street post. Everybody knew me. Okay. So when anything went wrong, I got blamed. I got blamed because I'm the street. All of them was more like laid back. So you really didn't know who was Final Four. You just heard the name. Being that I was the one that had the girls and was more in the street. My name kind of over it. I wasn't the head of it, but I had the name.
When you hear Final Four.
Right, when you heard Final Four.
Right,
so that's how I got the name.
Your face was...
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, we wound up being why some people, majority of people are promoters today. If they don't know, their mothers and their uncles, their brothers have said, Final Four party, you'll never get a party like that ever in your life again.
All right. Y'all heard it right here, man. Yeah. Y'all heard it right here. Anything else you want to say, brother? All right, Otis, my man, you want to say something else?
No,
before we close out? I appreciate you coming, though.
And same here, man. I appreciate the time. I jumped out of my bed on this rainy day.
On the rain, in the rain.
I got 20 minutes to share a little bit of my life, and thank y'all for having me.
Y'all heard it. You owe it to yourself. Yeah. You owe it to the hood. Yo, anytime, brother, you want to come up and just talk about it, shed some knowledge. Yo, play some pool. Yo, we do it right here. We do it right here, and it's nothing but love.
It's nothing but stories for days coming home. So I just got long stories.
So you coming back?
I'll be back, yeah.
All right.
That was just like a opening, but
Hold on, a snippet.
A snippet.
Yo, listen, Otis, old Harlem, right here. All right, he's coming back. Yo, thank you, brother. Peace, man. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for coming through, man. Y'all subscribe now. All right, tune in 6 o'clock. Listen to the story. My man Otis right here in the building. The incredible DJ Breakout, DJ Hands, once again. We done did it. Defeated tragedy to triumph. Tell a friend, subscribe, y'all. Peace.